Since the original Dodge Charger was introduced in 1966, they have been known for a few things, which is to be these big old loud rear-wheel drive fast American cars, with the most important feature being that big old V8 engine underneath the hood that makes all the magic happen. And Dodge somehow even managed to keep that tradition going for all of their generations of the Dodge Charger up until recently in 2023, when they sadly announced the end of production on their V8 vehicles, including the Dodge Challengers, the Dodge Durangos, and the Dodge Chargers, and that moving forward they will be introducing the very first generation EV Dodge Charger in late 2024. And unfortunately for us Dodge fans, that time has came, and Dodge has announced that you will be able to pre-order yourself one of these cars with a starting MSRP that will absolutely blow your mind, but we will talk about the price a little bit later in this video. For now, let's discuss everything we know about this next gen Dodge Charger, starting with the fact that this car will be available in 3 different trims called the Dodge Charger RT, the Scat Pack, and finally the SRT Banshee. The RT and the Scat Pack will both be available in a 2-door coupe in late 2024, and a 4-door sedan will be available to the public in early 2025 for both of these trims. And believe it or not, the RT will not be the slowest trim out of the bunch, with 496 horsepower from an EV motor, which is definitely nothing to scoff at, and it's also about 100 more horsepower than the previous generation Dodge Charger RTs that produced around 385 horsepower. And after doing some research, I also noticed that Dodge included a separate gasoline trim with these vehicles called the Dodge Charger 6-Pack, which will put out 420 horsepower out of an inline-6 engine on the sedans, but they will go up for the coupes, giving them 550 horsepower thanks to the twin turbos that will be added on to this engine, putting this trim in between the RT and our next trim, the Dodge Charger Scat Pack, which will now produce an insane 670 horsepower from the EV motor it's equipped with. And all jokes aside, I'm not going to lie, the power outputs are impressive, and it only makes me wonder how much more the SRT version will have. Even though it could honestly have 1 billion horsepower, and I'll still buy a V8 version. Now, where this new generation Dodge Charger EV takes the upper hand compared to its older generations is the inside of the car, which is way nicer, equipped with this bigger 12.3-inch center display where you could do things such as put your car in sports mode, track mode, and even donut mode. Yes, the car has a donut mode, where the car's rear wheels only spin, allowing the car to rotate around with the front tires not interfering. And on the steering wheel of these vehicles, you will also have a button called the Power Shot, where if you press it, it'll give you an extra boost of 40 horsepower for a total of 15 seconds, helping you win a close race like your Dom Toretto or something. But the screen isn't just for you to switch in between the modes that this car offers. You'll also be able to see things such as the digital cluster display, showing things like the coolant temperature, things like what battery percentage your car is on and the nearest charging station. They also advertise this new feature called the Driving Experience Recorder, which is just a fancy way of saying a dash cam, where you could basically record your driving experience with a forward-facing camera, and it's advertised as a in-vehicle playback that lets you relive your latest thrill in detail. Like, okay buddy, they already made that. It's called the Gap Mount, and I doubt that we'll ever see someone put one on this car. Now, all jokes aside, overall I will still prefer to own a Hellcat or a Redeye over one of these cars, especially since the starting MSRP of the Dodge Charger Scat Packs is now $72,000, which is way too much in my opinion, because I'd assume most of the customers that will be buying these cars are EV enthusiasts that don't necessarily care for the history of Dodge itself, and those people can definitely find themselves a much nicer EV vehicle for that same price. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of this car.